Hello everyone, I am Trey Misanthrope, this is I Vehemently Disagree, and we are now going to discuss the albums I've listened to this week. The premise is simple. I take albums that are new, albums that are old, albums I've listened to before, albums I've never heard before, even some unreleased albums, and I'm just going to review them. I make it a promise to myself to listen to at least one album a day, and at least a couple per week that I've never heard. We're going to start off with a couple of, with just four. That's twice couple. Two couples. I'm stupid. The first album we're going to discuss is 100 gecs, new remix album, 1000 gecs, and the Tree of Mysteries. Now, this album, first off, a little backstory. First time I heard 100 gecs, did not like him. Money Machine I thought was stupid. Then I listened to it again because I just couldn't get that fucking chorus out of my head. You're so clean with the money machine. And it started to grow on me. One of the groups I'm in actually helped me describe 100 gecs as music you hate that makes you like it whether you want to or not. And it's completely accurate. I actually started falling in love with that album after I kept listening to it over and over again. And I established that there were tracks on there that I just could not get out of my head. Money Machine, Hand Crushed by a Mallet, Stupid Horse. All great songs. Now with this new endeavor, the Tree of Mysteries, the remix album, this is a whole new monster. You got artists like Charlie XCX, Rico Nasty, Girlfriend of the Year, A.G. Cook, Dorian Electra, just all over this fucking thing. And it is phenomenal. I'm going to say I kind of like this album better than the original 1000 gecs. I know that's kind of blasphemy to say a remix album is better, but hear me out. It's not so much the album itself. It's that it takes all the original songs and it creates entirely new concepts from them. For example, the first single that I've heard personally from this album was the remix of Ringtone with Charlie XCX, Rico Nasty, and Kero Bonito. Charlie is so fucking catchy on this song. Her verse is so good and smooth and just fits everything. It just fits perfect. And when she sings the chorus, it's so low-key and nice and pretty. But it works. It's got that emotion and intensity behind it. And then you got Kero Bonito coming on. And it's good. I feel like it slows the song down a little bit. Especially when on the front end you have Charlie XCX. On the back end you have Rico Nasty. But it still works. It still fits it. And then, as I was, pointing out, Rico Nasty, I know her from her aggressive, hard-edged voice when she raps. But wow, when she does that auto-tune singing, it's really good. Rico is really good at singing. Holy shit. I cannot understand why she's not up there with Nicki Minaj and Missy Elliott and Cardi B. She deserves it. And then I'm rambling on too much about this song. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so we're just going to keep going. The next song, that I really, really like is the remix of Hand Crushed by a Mallet featuring Patrick Stump of Fall Out. Well, actually, it says Fall Out Boy, so I'm assuming that somehow all the band members have something to do with it. It's got Craig Owens of Chiodos, and it's got Nicole Dollinger, who I've never heard of before this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never heard of her. It's amazing. Like, it takes that song that I feel was in some ways kind of a parody of Juice WRLD's Lucid Dreams, just because of how similar everything was. Like, I know doesn't sound the same, but to me, like, I heard the two songs and I just felt they were connected. It takes that and it turns it into like this pop punk emo kind of 2005 MySpace indie rock song, and oh my god, it's so good. The intensity, the melody, everything just like blows up. And they don't have to change any words pretty much. It's pretty much the exact same song, just with that pop punk edge. Freaking Patrick Stump comes in with his high, powerful voice. Yes, it is like his nasally stuff, but it sounds so good. It would be like a Fall Out Boy track from Under the Cork Tree. Wait, is that what it's called? Hang on, I have to Google this real quick. Yeah, I was right. It's from Under the Cork Tree. I don't know why I doubted myself. But it sounds like it would be a track right off of there. And then it just goes on. And it's got like that really good guitar behind it. And then it just drops into this nice, peaceful, vibing sound with Nicole Dollinger singing the verse. And then it picks right back up and it gets into Craig Owens and then the screaming and the distortion. And oh my god, it sounds so good. This entire album just takes like everything that you expect from 100 gecs and just amplifies it. Especially the Stupid Horse remake with Girlfriend of the Year. Who else is on that track? Shit, I had notes, but they all got deleted. Count Baldur. That's who it is. Count Baldur. Oh, hi. My cat just appeared from behind the computer. So, yeah. The Stupid Horse remake with Girlfriend of the Year and Count Baldur is so good. Hang on. You're getting into stuff. Well, come here, Harley. You can sit up there. I'm going to censor that for you guys. It, like, changes the entire meaning of the song, too. Like, I love how it goes from being a, like a ska song about gambling to this, like, vengeful girlfriend kind of deal. I love it. I don't know what else to say. And, like, all the other remixes are so good. Like, with Dorian Electra, Tommy Cash, all of it is so good. The AJ Cook remix of Money Machine, it just like it takes the concept and it changes it around, and then you get the live tracks and you get the tracks that aren't on the original 1000 gecs. And it's just so good. So good. Only my wife's gonna laugh at that. I got nothing else to say. Like, I love this album. If you like that whole PC music crowd, if you like 100 gecs, if you like experimental music, if you like remixes, check it out. Link in the description below, as always. And the second album I listened to this week was Psychic TV's... Oh god, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Psychic TV's Kondole/Dead Cat. In my notes, I remember writing this. I love Genesis Peorage. I love all that experimental, noisy, dark, industrial sound. This album was incredibly exhausting to listen to. In a good way. But still, I felt really, really fucking tired. Really drained. Dead Cat long version was like a 47-minute version of my nighttime panic attacks. Although I did love the wails. Like, I feel like it just had this bravado about it. And I could, like, go on and talk about everything that's going on there. But I just feel like those first 2 tracks, if you listen to that, the rest of the album, you know what to expect. It's going to be noisy, it's going to be wild, it's going to be harsh. And not like harsh as in harsh noise wall like some of the artists that I might cover in the future. But just, it's almost painful to listen to. But I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. So, I mean, there's not a lot to say about this album. There's only 4 tracks, and they're all just like super long fucking beasts of tracks. They're monster songs. And they're very repetitive, but you don't get bored with them. I have ADHD, and I didn't get bored of them. If I had to, like, get one criticism, not that it matters, is that 47 minutes for a song is too long. I don't care, like, if it's the best, greatest, most powerful song in the world. Which the song isn't. But even if it was, 47 minutes is too long. Cut the shit. The 23-minute version is pushing it, but I can take 23 minutes over 47 minutes. And then we're going on to the third album I listened to, and that was Kero Bonito's Time and Place. Now, I've listened to a lot of Kero, but I have not necessarily listened to this album as a whole. I've listened to songs. I listened to songs from this album, but I've never actually listened to like everything. And I was really like, the first couple of songs, it like goes between like simple pop aesthetics to rock aesthetics, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, but it's confusing. Not in the same way that 100 gecs is confusing. Not in the same way that, like, a lot of PC music is confusing. More so in the way that, like, it doesn't feel so much like an album. It feels like a collection of songs that they worked on to just make a record. All really good songs. I mean, you got everything going on this album. Starts with Outside, which is kind of like a nice little jaunty semi-alt rock song. It reminds me a lot of like 90s post-grunge. And then you got Time Today, which is just like their typical Kero pop. And then Only Acting comes on. And this is the song that I heard before, the first song I heard from this album, and I'm like, oh, this has to be an album closer. But it's the third song. And I'm thinking, oh, this should have ended the album. That would have been a great way to go out. But, as always, I proved myself wrong. As I keep listening, you get like good songs like Dump, and you get, Sometimes. And then Rest Stop comes on. And it's such a sleepy song at first, and you feel good, and then it just starts going nuts and cutting out and distortion, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. I understand why Only Acting was not the closing track. My recommendation, listen to this album. Listen to it all the way through, but don't expect the cohesive theme. Like, even with the remix album that 100 gecs did earlier, it felt cohesive in some way. This doesn't feel as much so, but that's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not a music critic, so I'm not here to tell you, like, oh, this album's shit because of it. The songs on it are really good, but it confuses me. And last but not least, the fourth album I listened to all the way through was Oliver Tree's Ugly is Beautiful. Now, I'm sure all of you have seen the memes, have seen the comedy music videos that Oliver Tree does, and the album definitely fits the persona. Like, it's silly, but like, not a lot of straight up comedy in the album itself. These songs are just perfect, formulaic pop songs. Like you get Hurt, you get Miracle, you get Alien Boy. All these songs fit. They're around 3.5 minutes, all of them. They're repetitive. They have like really catchy chords. It's like Oliver Tree has writing these pop songs down to a science. And he mixes it with a little bit of like the 90s, early 2000s alternate rock sound that makes you feel nostalgic. But you can kind of tell like there's a joke somewhere in there. You may not get it. I didn't get it, but like you feel like somewhere deep down he is expecting you to laugh. But I don't know, like the songs are really good. Like Hurt is such a good song. Miracle Man is such a good song. And there was a couple songs on there that I felt really didn't like work as well, but they did work. Again, if you like that pop rock kind of sound, it's not like straight up either one of them. It's like kind of a mishmash in betweener. I would definitely recommend Ugly is Beautiful by Oliver Tree. Now, that does it for this week. I only thought of this video today, so hopefully over the next few weeks I can do more. I plan on listening to at least one full album a day for a minimum of 7 albums per video. I'm hoping I can do more. I'm sorry that my 1000 gecs in the Tree of Mysteries review was bigger than the rest of them. But, you know, I just had so much to say about that album that I feel like needed to be said. It's so good. Everyone needs to listen to 100 gecs. Everyone. I swear to God. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you want to recommend albums to listen to, please leave a comment below. If you want to support me, share this video. I don't have a Patreon yet. I don't have a coffee yet. If there's any interest, I might make one. If you guys want to see me make one, let me know. Alright, that's going to do it. Keep listening to music. Have a good one.